Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot at startup funding and investing. In startup fundraising, dilution is a key issue for founders. At each stage of funding, investors will demand a certain amount of equity. Here's how much each round will cost to start up in equity. Pre-seed, typically funded by family and friends, the cost of funding is 5 to 10%. Seed, angels take 5 to 10%, while venture capitalists take 10 to 25%. Seed plus, most founders will need additional funding to carry the business forward. Seed plus rounds cost the same amount as seed rounds. Series A, venture capital investors will see 15 to 25% of equity at this stage. And Series B, later stage VCs look for 10 to 20% of the equity at this point. And Series C and following, growth equity investors look for 10 to 15% at this level. Consider the impact of dilution on your startup and fundraising. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start us into today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.